see something I know that we will.
All right, so I have boarded the bus here. I'm actually out on the patio right now. I'm joined by Dr. David Perloff from Broward Health, and we are talking about a special way that people can be healthy. And this month we want people to be healthy. Well, we want people to be healthy all the time, but it is Healthy Heart Month, and we're talking specifically cardiovascular disease.
Right.
Talk to me a little bit about how common cardiovascular disease is.
Well, 1 in 3 people who are adults have cardiovascular disease. You also have to realize that not only is cardiovascular disease the leading cause of death in both men and women in the U.S., but it kills more people than everything else combined.
Well, that's very scary. Now, in comes the bus. Now, you would never think about this being somewhere that you could go to find out information that could change your life. But talk to me about this bus and what you're doing on board.
Okay, this is a partnership between Broward Health and HealthFair. And the whole point of the bus is that most of what's going on in cardiovascular disease is completely what we call asymptomatic or without symptoms. So you can have all kinds of vascular disease going on in your body and not really feel anything. And the point of this is to try to detect it early so that we can do something about it.
Now, give me the example you gave me about the car. I thought that was a perfect way to sum it up.
Okay, all right. I often tell people that it would be almost ridiculous, laughable to think that we would go for 100,000 miles on our car and not check the oil or not check the brakes or something like that. But if you're not going to take that risk with your car, which is a possession, why would you take that risk with your body? How is it that the majority of people in this country have no idea what their cholesterol is, no idea what their blood pressure is, no idea what their sugar is, and no idea what these things should even be?
Okay, so let's make our way back here because we have a willing victim here. We shouldn't call him a victim, a willing patient. We've got Gary. If you can just go ahead, doctor. This is one of the 6 tests that will be performed on board. So tell me what Gary's going through.
Okay, Gary is currently undergoing a carotid ultrasound. This is a sonogram looking at the plaque, or fortunately for Gary, the lack of plaque in his carotid arteries. The carotid arteries feed the brain, so when those get closed up, we get concerned about stroke.
Okay, now Gary, tell me why this is an important test for you to be going through. Why did you hop on board today?
Basically to tell people how HealthFair saved my life. 3.5 years ago, it was discovered that I had an aortic aneurysm, and I had just been to a medical doctor for my annual checkup, and he told me he was fine, I was fine, and he'd see me in a year. I wouldn't have been around the next year for a checkup.
That's actually very scary. And right here, doctor, you brought with you an example of what Gary's condition was. So tell me what this is.
Okay, this is the aorta. The aorta is when the heart pumps, it pumps blood into your aorta, and then that aorta carries the blood to the rest of the body. And Gary's correct. He actually had what we call an aortic aneurysm, which is right here. You can see that's clearly an enlargement from the normal aorta. The concern is once this gets to a particular size, it can burst, and that leads to sudden death. It's a very serious condition.
His life.
Absolutely. He was 5.7 centimeters, which is well above the range that needs to be repaired.
That's scary stuff. Now tell me real quick here, what are the other tests that you're performing on board?
We're doing carotid ultrasounds, abdominal aortic ultrasounds, ankle brachial indexes, blood work with just a simple finger stick, cholesterol and things like that, blood pressures, an electrocardiogram, and an arterial stiffness index.
And the cost for our viewers?
$179.
$179 to save your life. So we hope that you hop on board, and for more information you can go to browardheartbeat.com. You can also call 1-800-6TEST. That's 1-800-749-8378. Thanks so much for coming out here today, and
My
thank
pleasure.
you for all the good work that you're doing, and happy health to all our viewers. Back inside to you.
All right, Sherry, thank you.